Good morning, everybody. Hi at Burbank. I hope you guys are doing good. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Miss Sarah. I am a teacher in the Otter classroom, and today I'm going to do a little kind of an experiment, kind of a health experiment. This is something I did with my otters earlier in the year that they seemed to really enjoy, that kind of helped understand about germ spreading and kind of just all why washing your hands is super important. So this is the moldy bread experiment. It's super easy to do. All you really need is a couple pieces of bread. So you got your bread. You need a couple Ziploc bags, preferably 3. And then you need water and soap to wash your hands, and then some Purell, which I'm sure everybody has now, or hopefully has, because I know there's a shortage of it. So basically, this experiment shows, it's supposed to show which piece of bread. You're going to use 3 pieces of bread. And you're seeing over time, usually it takes a few weeks, like 2, 3, I want to say, to see like how quick mold grows on bread. So what you're going to do is you're going to have 3 different pieces of bread. So with 1 piece of bread, you're going to keep your hands dirty. So me, I've been touching stuff. I've been touching my laptop. I just spin everywhere. I touch a couple door handles, so I got a bunch of germs on my hands. But the thing is, you can't see them, right? That's why germs are so small. So they look clean, but trust me, I've been touching a bunch of stuff. So what you're going to do for that one, you're not going to wash your hands. You're going to keep your hands nice and dirty like this. And you're just going to take the piece of bread, and you're just going to touch it all over with your dirty hands. You don't want to crush it or anything and smush it up. You just want to make sure that you're getting the germs in there. So then when you finish that, try and make sure it's important, too, that you don't put it on the table, because we just want to focus on the germs that are on your hands, not on a table. So once you touch it, if you're doing this with your family, you can all take a turn, just pass it around. When I was doing it with my otters in our classroom, we all were touching it, and then you just passed it around in a circle to your friends. And when it gets back to the person with the bag, you take it, put it in your sealed bag, and zip it up. And then with a Sharpie or a marker, I would put on the bag that this was your unclean hand, so that you know. So then you set it aside. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to use the Purell. So for this one, what you're going to do is obviously get Purell on your hands. You're going to sit there, rub it around. Purell is pretty good when you need like a quick clean, like maybe you just touched a door handle and you're like, probably should do it. It's not as good as washing your hands. That's why we're doing it second, because Purell, while it is good and it does get rid of the germs on your hands, it's not as effective as washing your hands. So once you got the Purell on your hands and they're all nice and clean, you can't tell if they're clean. Again, you can't see the germs, but they might be gone at this point. You're going to do the same thing with the piece of bread. You're going to get a new piece of bread. I'm not going to get a new one just because I don't want to waste all my bread on this. But you're going to grab a new piece of bread. You're going to do the same thing. Sit there with your hands. Get it all nice and done. And then you're going to put that piece of bread in a bag just like this. Seal it up. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then you're going to write on it hand sanitizer, Purell, whatever you want to use to put on that. So then you set that aside. You have 2 of them done. And then your next one you're going to do is you're going to go wash your hands. So I'm going to go, you could see in the background, I'm going to go wash my hands real quick. Make sure you get the soap and water. And make sure you get all around when you're washing your hands. You're going to dry them. And make sure if you're turning off the sink, use your paper towel to turn it off so that you're not spreading the germs, because you want your hands to be super, super clean. So now you don't want to touch anything. Now that your hands are clean, you're going to do the same thing to a new piece of bread, okay? So you're going to take the bread, and again, with your clean hands, pass it around. Get it all good. Once you're done, put it in the baggie, and then you could write clean hands, wash hands, whatever you want, and then you set it aside. So the experiment is, that's your 3 things. What you're going to do, what I did for my kids in the Otter classroom, we taped them up on the wall so that they're in view sight. I showed the kids each one. This one was the clean hands. This one was the unclean hands. This one was hand sanitizer. And we just kind of monitored it for about a few weeks. It was kind of funny in our classroom. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. I think it took about like 3 weeks for any type of mold to form. So every day we were going up there to see, I would ask a couple friends, like, hey, do you notice anything? Like, what's going on? And they would go and look, and they'd be like, nothing's really happening. But finally, after a while, the point of this is to see which piece of the 3 breads gets more mold on it the fastest, which one grows mold. And what we figured out in the Otter classroom was that the piece of bread, the first one that we did when we didn't wash our hands and we just touched it, that was the one that developed mold the fastest. And do you guys know why? So if you said because of the germs, you're right. Yeah. So when our hands were super dirty, we were touching stuff. During that day, I had my friends, we were touching the tables we were using, the sinks, we were touching water bottles, all of our toys. So our hands were really dirty. Even though they looked nice and clean, they had so many germs in it. And then when we touched the bread, there was like 6 of us on each piece of bread. Those germs all just gathered, and that's what formed the mold to go really quick. So in the experiment, we found out that the bread that we used with our unwashed hands got moldy quicker than the other ones. We kept it up a little bit longer just to see between the clean hands and the hand sanitizer which one would go faster, because we already figured out that the moldiest one was the unclean hands. But we were curious. A lot of my friends wanted to take it a step farther and be like, which one do you think now is going to get moldier, the hand sanitizer or the clean hands? So we kept it up a little bit longer, and this was actually right before our school shut down. So we didn't get to see the end result of it, sadly, in our classroom. But maybe this is something you guys can do at home and see and make your predictions. I think would be great. You can talk with mom and dad, a brother or sister, grandma, grandpa, about what you think is going to happen and why. And let me know, because I'm curious. Like, maybe I'll do it now that I got this piece of bread bagged up, to see which one molds the fastest. Like I said, it might take a little bit, but it's a fun experiment for you guys to see how germs spread, how it affects your food, especially since a lot of us use our hands to eat. You can kind of see the effect that it has on that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the experiment. It was nice to do this for you guys, and I will see you later. Bye.